Attack of the Clones managed to do something that middle chapters and trilogies often struggle with. It took the foundation the Phantom Menace built and pushed the story into much darker territory while setting up everything that will pay off in Revenge of the Sith. In my opinion, this is where the prequels really started showing their true purpose, because we're watching the Republic actively falling apart and the Jedi walking blindly towards their own destruction.
This 2-disc set that will blow you away with all the action, adventure, and your favorite Star Wars characters. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, now available on video and DVD.
What I love about this movie is how it splits the story between Anakin and Padme's romance on Naboo and Obi-Wan's detective work uncovering the clone army. Both storylines are equally important to understanding how Palpatine is manipulating everything.
No, but I do, Senator. I realize all too well that additional security might be disruptive for you.
Do it for me, milady, please. The thought of losing you is unbearable.
Anakin as a young adult is complicated and conflicted in ways that make total sense for someone in his position. He's been trained as a Jedi for 10 years, but he's still that kid who misses his mother. He's incredibly powerful but impatient with the restrictions the Order places on him. And honestly, it's really not hard to see why he eventually turns to the dark side, as the Jedi Order is constantly treating him like shit and doesn't trust him at all.
His abilities have made him, well, arrogant.
Yes. A flaw more and more common among Jedi.
Hayden Christensen played him as someone constantly at war with himself, and that tension is exactly what the character needed. His reunion with Padme after 10 years is awkward because, of course it is. He's been obsessing over this memory while she's moved on to become a senator. The romance between Anakin and Padme gets criticized a lot, and all of that criticism is absolutely justified. Not because of the romance itself, but more so because of how it's written. The dialogue is really strange and downright bad, with Anakin apparently also becoming the world's greatest pickup artist.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Out.
Dad, I got your voucher.
Out!
But then again, you could say that the dialogue in those Naboo scenes is stilted and over the top because Anakin is a 20-year-old who's never been allowed to have feelings like this. He's trying to express emotions he doesn't understand, using language that sounds like it came from the holodramas he probably watched growing up.
The trouble is that people don't always agree.
Well, then they should be made to.
Sounds an awful lot like a dictatorship to me.
Well, if it works.
Obi-Wan's investigation into the clone army is interesting, and it also shows us just how ineffective and indecisive the Jedi Order has become. He discovers an entire army ordered by a dead Jedi Master while meeting Jango Fett and his clone son Boba. Every revelation here raises more questions about who's really pulling the strings. However, for some reason the Jedi are behaving like complete idiots here. They tasked Obi-Wan to investigate this conspiracy and find out what's going on. And when he does find out and then reports back to the Order, Yoda straight up tells him not to make any conclusions.
Track down this bounty hunter, you must, Obi-Wan.
Most importantly, find out who he's working for.
They are using a bounty hunter named Jango Fett to create a clone army. I have a strong feeling that this bounty hunter is the assassin we're looking for.
Do not assume anything, Obi-Wan. Clear your mind must be.
What?
You guys ordered him to do some detective work, and then you forbid him from doing one of the most basic and essential parts of that very same detective work. It's really no wonder that the Sith returned, since all the Jedi do 90% of the prequels is sit on their ass and debate each other. Jango Fett is the perfect template for the clone army. He's efficient, deadly, and watching him fight Obi-Wan shows exactly what the clones will be capable of. The death of Anakin's mother is the turning point for his character. Everything that happens after that moment is colored by his rage and grief. The Tusken Raider massacre is horrifying because we're watching him cross a line he can never come back from.
I'm so proud of you, honey. I missed you. Stay with me, Mom. Everything...
Death, I feel.
The arena battle is my personal highlight of this movie. Anakin, Padme, and Obi-Wan are surrounded by monsters while the Separatists watch. Then the Jedi arrive to rescue them, and for a brief moment it feels like the good guys are winning. But then the droids show up in overwhelming numbers and you realize the Jedi are outmatched until the arrival of the clone army.
Dear, I'm terribly sorry about all this.
Yoda bringing the Republic's new military to save the day feels triumphant, but we know it's exactly what Palpatine wanted. The Republic just militarized, and democracy is one step closer to becoming the fascist empire. Count Dooku is a fascinating villain because he's a former Jedi who left the Order due to its corruption and complacency, and he also has an amazing and badass lightsaber fighting style.
Master Kenobi, you disappoint me.
The duel between him and Yoda is the first time we see Yoda actually fight, and it's both amazing and slightly surprising. Watching this tiny Jedi Master flip around and match Dooku move for move is really damn cool, and only something I'd expect to see in Star Wars. I really like Attack of the Clones because it is pushing the story into much darker territory while still retaining some of the lighter adventure vibes from Phantom Menace. There are pacing issues in my opinion, and the movie is bombarding you with tons of lore without really explaining it that well. The movie shows us democracy voting itself into fascism while believing it's protecting freedom. The Jedi are becoming soldiers, Anakin is taking his first steps towards the dark side, and Palpatine is consolidating power through emergency measures that will never be reversed. What makes this movie special is how it bridges the gap between the optimistic beginning of The Phantom Menace and the tragic ending of Revenge of the Sith. We see the pieces moving into place and watch characters make choices that feel right in the moment but will have devastating consequences.
I see you becoming the greatest of all Jedi, Anakin. Even more powerful than Master Yoda.